If brain fog feels heavier now than it used to, if it feels harder to focus, remember, or think clearly, you're not imagining that. For many women, midlife brain fog doesn't just appear one day, it accumulates. And once you understand why, a lot of the self-blame can finally soften. This isn't about fixing anything, it's about context, it's about relief. A lot of women ask, why is this happening now? Especially if they've handled stress before, especially if they've always been capable, organized, sharp. But here's what's important to understand. Midlife isn't just one change, it's many small shifts happening at the same time. And your brain feels all of them. Brain fog often shows up not because you're weaker, but because you've been strong for a very long time. And strength over years has a cost. Hormones play a quiet but critical role in how the brain works. Estrogen, in particular, supports memory, focus, and verbal recall. It's literally involved in the connections your brain makes, the pathways it uses to find words, hold information, stay clear. When hormone levels fluctuate, especially during perimenopause and menopause, the brain can feel unfamiliar. Words don't come as easily. Concentration takes more effort than it used to. You might read something 3 times and still not retain it. This isn't dramatic, it's physiological. And for many women, no one explains that clearly enough, so they blame themselves instead. Midlife sleep often changes, even if you're still getting enough hours. Lighter sleep, frequent waking, early mornings, restless nights. The brain depends on deep rest to process information, organize memory, and reset itself. When that rest is interrupted night after night, sometimes for months or years, clarity becomes harder to access. Not because you're doing something wrong, but because your brain hasn't fully powered down in a while. It's like running a computer that never fully shuts off. Eventually, things start to lag, and you feel it in your focus, your memory, your mental stamina. This is the part many women overlook. Years of decision-making for everyone around you, emotional caregiving, being responsible for the details no one else notices, holding things together quietly, never really being off. The brain doesn't forget that. Stress doesn't just come from crises, it comes from constancy, from the low-grade, never-ending hum of responsibility, the mental load of remembering everything, anticipating everything, managing everything. And when stress becomes normal, when you've been in survival mode for so long that you don't even recognize it anymore, the fog can feel sudden, even though it's been building for years. Your nervous system has been working overtime, and at some point, it asks for a break, whether you're ready to give it one or not. Brain fog often feels like it came out of nowhere, but more often, it's a tipping point, not a breakdown, a signal, a moment when the brain says, I can't carry all of this the same way anymore. That doesn't mean something is wrong with you, it means something needs gentler conditions, less demand, more space, different expectations. Understanding alone can be relieving. You don't need to push harder. You don't need to optimize yourself out of this. What actually helps, fewer decisions when possible, quieter days, more permission to pause without guilt, less self-judgment, believing that rest is productive. Sometimes clarity doesn't come from doing more, it comes from expecting less of a tired system, from finally letting yourself exhale. If this helped you see your brain differently, if it gave you even a moment of relief, I'm really glad you're here. Brain fog in midlife isn't a personal failure, it's a response to real physiological changes and years of carrying more than most people see. And understanding that is often the first moment of relief.